Live from WRAL News Headquarters in Raleigh, your number one source for local news. WRAL News, coverage you can count on.
New here at 6, a statewide burn ban is now in effect. The North Carolina Forest Service says all open burning is banned and all permits that might be out there are canceled. That ban is in effect until further notice. With dry and breezy conditions today, we have been monitoring the fire risk across our region. Thank you for joining us. I'm Eric Miller. Meteorologist Grant Skinner joins us live in the WRAL Severe Weather Center with more. Grant, when are we going to start to see some changes here? Get this risk going down?
I think the risk will start to drop into the middle of next week. The next couple of days, we'll need to watch for that increased fire threat across the area. We've had dry and breezy conditions today, gusts up to 30 miles per hour and low humidity as well, and that will continue through around 8 o'clock today. We'll start to see the breezes draw back into tomorrow, but we'll still have dry conditions, so I think that fire threat will still be elevated into our Sunday and the start of the coming week. High pressure is in place right now, though, keeping us very dry. It's been beautiful out there throughout the day today. All the clouds are moving to the south and east with the cold front that passed late yesterday into very early this morning. Here's a view from Clinton right now. You can see tons of blue sky. It is gorgeous out there, but a bit of a breeze. We saw some gusts, again, that could reach up to around 20 to 25 miles per hour for the most part. Temperatures this evening drop to the mid-40s. We'll stay dry with clear skies for the next several hours, and temperatures will rebound to the mid-60s tomorrow. So a warmer afternoon. I'll let you know how much will warm up by Monday into the middle of next week. And also we'll talk more about how cold will be by tomorrow morning. That's coming up.
Grant, thank you.
Now, breaking news from WRAL, coverage you can count on.
New tonight, a Cumberland County Sheriff's deputy died after a dispute with another law enforcement officer. The shooting happened late last night along Seattle Slough Lane in Hope Mills. We've learned that deputy was Captain Adam Bean. WRAL's Bailey Stamos joins us live in Cumberland County tonight. Bailey, what else have you learned here?
Cumberland County Sheriff's Office says this all happened here at the 1600 block of Seattle Slough Lane. Within the hour, Cumberland County Sheriff's Office confirmed to WRAL that Adam Bean was a captain with Cumberland County Sheriff's Office at the time of his death. He began his service in March of 2006 and more recently served as an assistant chief of detectives. Now we're working to confirm to learn what led up to this domestic dispute between two off-duty officers and what led to the shooting that killed a Cumberland County deputy. Right now, it's unclear who pulled the trigger. The State Bureau of Investigation tells us while this is an active investigation, no charges have been filed. But we are continuing to ask those questions, including if anyone will face charges. Now, again, this is a developing story. We're continuing to reach out to the SBI as well as Cumberland County Sheriff's Office. For now, Bailey Stamos, WRAL News in Cumberland County.
Bailey, thank you. Looking ahead here, the Ravenscroft School in Raleigh will hold a celebration of life tomorrow for a teacher who was murdered earlier this year. The memorial for Zoe Welsh had been moved several times because of winter weather. Welsh was killed back in January. Raleigh police say 36-year-old Ryan Camacho broke into her home and killed her. Camacho is currently in jail, charged with murder. Welsh had taught at the school for 20 years. Her celebration of life is not open to the public. New tonight, people across the nation and abroad gathered for No Kings demonstrations today. We saw thousands here in the Triangle alone rallying against the Trump administration. This is a look here from Drone 5 at the demonstration at the state capitol. You see that over my shoulder. The Bureau's Kirsten Clark shared the messages demonstrators were hoping to send and how Republicans are pushing back.
From the state capitol and Capitol Boulevard in Raleigh to Highway 55 in Apex, a common cause surrounding two simple words brought out the masses. Those behind the No Kings movement say it was a day to defend democratic norms and reject authoritarianism, a cause that resonates with protester Richard Huggins.
I can't sit by and watch what's happening without doing something.
We asked demonstrators about the specific actions from the Trump administration that inspired their frustration.
This is hurting our country. I'm losing money in my retirement fund. Housing is unaffordable. You've got a president who is making decisions without approval.
I'm upset about the war in Iran. You know, you can see that ICE isn't just here to deport illegal immigrants. They're separating families.
Despite these shared concerns, supporters of the Trump administration, like Matt Mercer with the state Republican Party, says he believes the movement is out of step with the American people.
I think you really see this as a movement that seems to hate President Trump more than they love America.
As for the war on Iran, in Mercer's eyes, it was a decision made in the interest of both Iranians and Americans.
When the Ayatollah was taken out, that was a movement that they celebrated because President Trump and our allies took care of a threat. And I think when you've seen every decision that's been made since then has been to the benefit of American national security.
We took his statement straight to demonstrators.
Sounds like they're more worried about the people in Iran than the people here.
We all love America. We all work hard for our jobs, at our jobs, and we want things to be better.
The debate over our country's leadership playing out in real time. In Wake County, Kirsten Clark, WRAL News.
And there were plenty more demonstrations. This is a look at the crowd in Southern Pines. Our photographer there counted more than 1,000 demonstrators lining the sidewalk on Morganton Road between Brucewood and Carolina Green Parkway. In Fayetteville, a group marched around downtown to the Mayor Beth Finch Park. Demonstrators were wearing costumes, carrying signs, and chanting. We know, of course, there were rallies happening all over our area. If you have pictures or videos, send it to us. Go to WRAL.com/reported to send those to our news team. New here at 6, Iran has agreed to allow 20 ships through the Strait of Hormuz. Under the agreement, the ships must be under the Pakistani flag. Pakistan's former minister says 2 ships will cross the strait daily. Pakistan has been acting as a mediator of negotiations between the U.S. and Iran. More ships moving through the strait could be good news for your wallet. North Carolinians are currently paying $3.74 a gallon on average for fuel. In Raleigh, the average price $3.78 a gallon today. That is down 1 cent from yesterday's average. To find the cheapest gas prices in the area or wherever you go, use the WRAL fuel tracker. Just go to our website, WRAL.com, and search fuel. 2 children were seriously injured in a crash in Harnett County. It happened just after 11 p.m. last night at the I-95 exit ramp to Hodges Chapel Road. State Highway Patrol says the driver was turning onto the road and was hit. 2 children were thrown from the car. No charges have been filed in this crash, but State Highway Patrol says the driver of the car that was hit could face moving violations. We're working to learn more about a crash that happened in Wake County overnight. This was on Capitol Boulevard just before 3 a.m. There were multiple police cruisers on that scene from several different agencies. We've reached out to those agencies for more information about what led up to the crash, if anyone involved was injured, or if any charges will be filed. Tonight, family and friends are remembering a Durham civil rights crusader. Dr. Elliott Brown Palmer was a Durham native who graduated from Hillside High in 1951. He earned both his undergraduate and graduate degrees from NC Central, where he was student body president. He served as executive director for the North Carolina Teachers Association, an organization of black educators that was founded back in 1881. Palmer led civil rights efforts, advocating for and representing black teachers throughout the state and country. In the 80s, Palmer and his wife Juanita opened Raleigh's first African-American museum. The African-American Cultural Complex is housed in the Palmer's home on Sunnybrook Road. At the service for Palmer today, his hard work was recognized.
Dr. Palmer worked hard, and he left a legacy behind that will continue to go and grow as time goes on in life. So, Evie, I thank God for you, for all that you did.
Palmer will be interred at Briar Creek Memorial Gardens in Raleigh. Well, Duke men, Duke women, it does not matter. Both teams are now just 1 win away from the final, and both teams won thrillers last night. The men went back and forth with St. John's all night. No team ever led by more than single digits. Duke was down by as many as 8 points in the second half before getting hot and winning by 5. They play UConn tomorrow for a spot in the Final Four. WRL sports team is in the nation's capital for that game tomorrow. We'll get a preview from them coming up in sports. The women, meanwhile, scored a buzzer beater against LSU. LSU drilled 2 free throws to take a 1-point lead with less than 10 seconds left. Then Aaliyah Jackson nailed a 3 at the buzzer to send Duke back to the Elite Eight. It's the first time in more than a decade that the Blue Devils have made it there in back-to-back years. The North Carolina Tennis Hall of Fame member and former UNC women's tennis coach has died. Catherine Kitty Harrison was the head coach for the women's team from 1976 to 1998. She retired in '98 as the winningest tennis coach in ACC history in terms of total dual match victories. Harrison was elected to the State Tennis Hall of Fame in 2004. No funeral arrangements have been announced at this time. Well, still ahead here, play ball. A new minor league team stadium is open. A look inside the venue ahead of opening day. Plus, road reopens. One of the areas hardest hit by Helene is marking a major milestone today. Next, a progress report on making the mountains whole. Welcome back. Taking a live look there over Dix Park, the Gibson Play Plaza. A beautiful day to get outside, take the kids out to explore. Meteorologist Grant Skinner will be tracking our forecast in just a few minutes. Well, the Wilson Warbirds welcomed fans into their brand new stadium today with a ribbon cutting. The nearly $70 million ballpark is located near Wallace Simpson Whirligig Park in downtown Wilson. It features a right field picnic area, a club lounge, and a left field entrance, along with a left field patio and some luxury suites. There are several free parking options available around downtown for fans. Opening day will be April 14th against the Lynchburg Hillcats. Single game tickets for the Warbirds' inaugural season are on sale now. The town of Cary held its annual Arbor Day celebration today. This year marks 43 years since Cary officially became a Tree City USA community. The award was given based on the town's investment in its management of its urban forest. This year's celebration was held in conjunction with the My Tree, Our Tree native tree giveaway program. Registered residents were able to pick up one free native tree. One of the most heavily damaged stretches of highway in the state of North Carolina officially reopens today. US 64 between Lake Lure and Bat Cave was obliterated by Hurricane Helene. Now it's back open, under budget and ahead of schedule. The North Carolina Department of Transportation says as of today, 87% of sites damaged during the storm are now repaired. DOT also said that almost 70% of damaged bridges have either been repaired or replaced. Of course, there are other lingering impacts of Helene, including the threat of wildfires. One severely damaged area in the Pisgah National Forest is now burning. This is in Mitchell County, very close to the Appalachian Trail. The fire, called the Poplar Fire, has burned 350 acres, fueled in part by downed trees. Some good news, though, that fire now at 80% containment. Of course, there are a lot of other wildfires burning out there across our state. Grant, it's part of why we have that burn ban, and it's been so dry you can understand what in part is fueling these fires.
Right, dry and also breezy behind that cold front that passed yesterday. So, we've still got that fire risk for the rest of the day today. I even think through Sunday and Monday, with it being so dry, it'll be important to refrain from burning. The burn ban is in place, though, so again, it's already going to be prohibited. But that risk is generally going to be elevated the next couple of days. But we will see improvements by the middle of next week. I'm actually watching for a rain chance later next week. Actually, a few days with rain chances. We could have more of an unsettled pattern with a front stalled over the region. So we'll talk more about how we get there. But the first thing you'll have to watch for is the cold temperatures tonight. Upper 20s to the mid 30s to start the day tomorrow. So stepping out the door for morning services or maybe going to breakfast tomorrow morning, make sure you have the coats ready to go. It's going to be very cold stepping out the door. But we'll gradually warm up once again back to the 80s this week, and I'll let you know kind of how warm we'll get over the next few days here in a second. But I want to start with this view, Lake Gaston. It looks gorgeous out there, tons of sunshine. It is still breezy, and as we just talked about, it's still dry as well. So we have that increased fire risk. I think the main threat will be through 8 o'clock this evening because we could have breezes up to 20 to 30 mile per hour gusts and the low humidity. We'll still be dry the next couple of days, though, so I think that fire risk will still be elevated. Temperatures gradually drop this evening into the mid-40s by 9 o'clock. By around 3 a.m., we're in the mid to upper 30s at this point, and it is going to be cold stepping out the door tomorrow. Here are those lows across the area: 33 in Raleigh, 34 in Fayetteville, 30 in Roxborough. And some of those isolated low-lying spots, though, we could get in the mid to upper 20s. So I'm worried about some areas of frost tomorrow morning, and also a freeze is possible in some areas as well. So keep that in mind for tomorrow tomorrow morning. Again, the coats are going to be needed and protect those sensitive plants. We're in the 30s and 40s tomorrow morning. Then we jump to the mid-60s tomorrow afternoon. We will have tons of sunshine throughout the day. So after a cold start, it will be more pleasant during the back half of the day. And then we'll be in the mid to upper 70s by 9 o'clock. Mostly clear skies overnight into our Monday morning, but generally warmer to start the day on Monday. An upper level ridge builds over the area, and as that happens, our temperatures climb as well. So 77 by Monday. At that point, we're 10 degrees above average. Only day at average will be tomorrow. And then Tuesday and Wednesday, low to mid 80s, so very warm once again. But you'll see by Thursday, we get a drop in our temperatures. I'm watching this next front. As that moves south, it could stall over the region, and that would bring better rain chances. It looks like Wednesday through Friday of the coming week. Temperatures a bit cooler in the 70s because of that. Not going to be overly cooler, but watching for those rain chances to peak around late Wednesday into Thursday as the front stalls, and that could bring some extra rain chances even all the way through Saturday. It will all depend on where the front stalls and also how much moisture is. I think we'll have plenty of warmth and moisture in place, but it's all going to depend on where that front is at that time. So we're going to continue to watch that. We'll update those rain chances. Of course, Chris Michaels will have another update in the morning on that. But you can see for our Tuesday, for opening night of the Durham Bulls, we'll be in the 70s in the evening. Should be a great start to the season, but just keep in mind, tonight is going to be very cold. Temperatures in the upper 20s to the mid 30s to start the day tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm just focused on Tuesday, that home opener. Perfect
yes,
baseball
it's
weather. Grant, thank you. Well, two Duke teams are in the Elite Eight, getting one step closer to the Final Four. After the break, we take you to Washington, D.C., where WRAL's Chris Lee and Pat Welter set the table for tomorrow night's Blue Blood matchup versus UConn. Next in sports.
Pat, we're here at the Smithsonian Museum of American Art, and I feel like it's art all around us in D.C., especially inside of Capital One Arena, which is right over there. You have number 1 versus number 2, and the East Regional is exactly what people wanted. That's a beautiful art piece to me.
And can you think of a more beautiful image than the uniforms, UConn and Duke on the court at the same time? Now, I don't know if the game is going to be quite as artistic. The math would suggest that it might be a pretty similar matchup to their game with St. John's. UConn, a very defensive-oriented team, very athletic as well. It is a true battle of blue bloods, and based on Duke's schedule, they feel prepared.
It's a good challenge for us. Obviously, we've been playing a lot of good teams, even a good team yesterday. St. John's was very well coached. We got a lot of very good players. So it's another challenge for us, obviously. But at the same time, I feel like if we go out there and play our best basketball, we can compete against anybody.
And Chris, Duke well aware of some of the slow starts they've had in the tournament. They know they're a second-half team, but versus UConn, they want to be a full 40-minute team.
And we saw versus St. John's, it was 2 North Carolina guys to put them on their back, Isaiah Evans and Caleb Foster. There's another North Carolina man in this matchup, and he plays for UConn. Here's a cool connection. UConn's Silas Demery Jr. is from Raleigh, and he graduated from Millbrook High School. He wasn't recruited by Duke or UNC. He did receive an offer from NC State, however. Demery started at Georgia and transferred to UConn to be on a bigger stage. Duke did recruit him out of the transfer portal, but he said UConn felt like home, so now he's excited to play Duke for a shot at the Final Four.
It's real cool. I think growing up, being in North Carolina, you're around NC State, Carolina, and Duke. So just being able to play against Duke, being a Carolina kid, it's kind of cool. And it's kind of like a dream come true to be able to do something like that. So very excited for tomorrow, and I can't wait to get out there.
And the one cool thing about this, Silas Demery, he's really good friends with both Caleb Foster and Isaiah Evans.
And we got to give some love to the Duke women who had a finish last night worthy of the archives of the United States of America versus LSU. Get this, they had an 11-point lead versus the LSU Tigers, but saw that lead dwindle down to 1 in the final minute. LSU takes the lead in the final seconds, but it's Ashlyn Jackson, who was 1 for 7 from 3 in the game, but she made the second one that counted the most.
Whenever shots aren't really falling for me, I can't really hang my head. That's just how the game goes. Every competitor knows that. But